Established in 1982, TDSi has been at the forefront of access control and integrated security for over 38 years. We spoke to Managing Director John Davies about how the company reacted to and coped with the COVID-19 restrictions, how it is planning for the new normal, and what advice John would offer to other businesses looking to evolve in a changing landscape.
One of the things that we did at TDSi pretty early on, actually during lockdown, was begin to question ourselves about what does this mean? How is it going to change the way we work in the future? Should we actually wait to see what happens before we start asking ourselves these questions, or should we start planning for it? So once we've got the crisis containment stuff done, so like managing cash flow, looking at how we're going to maintain relationships with customers, maintain relationships with staff, then it was all about, okay, well, how are we going to make sure that the business survives? So that was the immediate stuff, and then it was looking to sort of lift the fog, as it were, and start thinking about what the future business arena that we're going to be playing in. What might that look like, and what effect might that have on our business? And so, we looked at things at the macro level. So things like the economy, the regulatory environment, human and financial resources, social and demographic, market conditions and trends, what effects that was going to have, and what effects it might have on customer habits and attributes. And some of those things in the macro level, you have some control over, but probably actually little in the way of control, but things that or might be aware of that you need to start to think, okay, well, if this happens, how am I going to react to that? Our workforce is going to become more used to home working, used to the fact that there's less commute time, a better work-life balance. And what effect could that have on the built environment and the way that people normally go about work? And if there are going to be less people in work, our security systems going to be needed as much. There's going to be more demand for video conferencing, less face-to-face meetings, and there's going to be a requirement to build more trust with customers. And how do we go about future-proofing our business model? How do we make sure that we try and build in some resilience so we're not caught out like this again? So these are the sorts of questions that we're asking on the macro level. But on the micro level, this is the stuff that's absolutely within your control. So these are things like technology and know-how, and how can new technologies be applied? Do we need to change the knowledge that we have in the business or acquire knowledge in the business in order to use newer or different technologies? What impact is it going to have on manufacturing and operations? How do we make those more resilient? How do we have a more resilient relationship with our supply chain? And look at also what changes that can be brought about with our products and the services that we offer. What changes are going to be needed there in order to react and thrive in the new environment? The most important thing for us was asking these questions and not having any sacred cows. And the quality of the thinking that you need to do in a situation like this is all down to the quality of the questions that you ask yourself and how tough you are in asking these questions. And we also started looking at what effect is it going to have on potentially how we distribute products. What's the competitive landscape going to be like? Some of our competitors might not be as strong as us. They may go to the wayside if that happens. How do we respond to that? And how is our sales and marketing process going to change? And especially on the marketing side of things, is the mix of customers going to change? Do we need to adjust the marketing mix? Is the overall social approach going to change? There's a lot of opportunities with respect to ensuring that our customers can provide the reassurance to their workforce and their customers and suppliers that they're operating in a COVID secure environment. We've begun to change some of the ways that that we do things, and it's affected some of the products that we've brought out. So, like our track and trace application for our XGuard and Guardis software, we did that pretty early on, basically driven by some news reports that we had from Singapore that had that were using a track and trace app on a phone, and only 20% of people are using it. And in hindsight, here in the UK, track and trace isn't really being as effective as it could be. We put together an application to use with our software programs. We just put it up well, we let all our customers know, this is it, this is what we've done. It's freely available on our website. Download it, use it. I feel that we've done a pretty good job here at TDSi and throughout the greater VitaProtect group. And as a group, we are emerging stronger. Ask yourself those really challenging, searching questions. Challenge everything that you do, the way you do it. Challenge the products and services that you're currently offering, and look for new opportunities that the coronavirus is throwing up for people. And if you do that effectively enough, you will thrive in the new normal.
For more information, please visit www.tdsi.co.uk.